So I'm going to make this video to discuss why students aren't getting enough sleep, the effects it can have on a student, and the benefit that pushing back the school start time can have on a student. The reason students aren't getting enough sleep, one reason that students aren't getting enough sleep could be due to delayed melatonin releases. So melatonin is a chemical in your body which controls wakefulness. It controls like when you feel tired. This is released in teenagers at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, but for adults it's released at 10 o'clock at night. So teenagers are expected to wake up at 6, 5 o'clock. Well, adults are also expected to wake 6, 5 o'clock. Sometimes 9 o'clock for their jobs, so they work a 9 to 5 job. But they're expected to wake up around the same time, and sometimes adults are expected to wake up later. In order for a student who wakes up at 6 a.m. to get the recommended of sleep for a teenager, which is 9 hours and 15 minutes, that student will have to go to bed at 8:45 p.m., which just isn't possible because of delayed melatonin releases, and also because for a second reason, which is blue light emission. Blue light is the light that your phone, your tablet, your computer, all your electronic devices give off. It has a blue wavelength, that's why it's referred to as blue light. And blue light can affect your sleep because continuous exposure to blue light can suppress melatonin release even later than it is already, which is 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. And in a world where computers, TVs, phones are everything, they're just a part of our daily lives, teenagers will only go to bed later. There was a survey done and found that 87% of high schoolers aren't getting the recommended amount of sleep each night. 30% are falling asleep in class at least once a week. And the effects it can have on students' school performance and the students' health all around, it could be devastating. Studies show that sleep deprivation can lead to an increase in prevalence in anxiety, mood disorders. Sleep deprivation can also negatively impact the students' school performance. One study found a 2.2 percentile increase in math scores for a school that started at 8:30 compared to a school that started at 7:30. They also found that their reading scores were 1.5 percentile higher than the school that started at 7:30. Furthermore, a study using Chicago public high school students found that first period classes have a lower attendance rate and lower test scores compared to all other periods of the day. Car accidents due to fatigue have also been reported to decrease by 16.5% in school of Virginia that pushes high school start time back an hour. One study looked at 29 different schools and over 30,000 students and found that after 2 years of a delayed school time implementation, the average graduation rate rose from 77% to 89%. It's become obvious to me, and it should become obvious to you, that the school start time should be pushed back. School starts too early and it can have negative effects on not just the student's performance, but a student's health, and that's something students can't tolerate for any longer.